to whom, parentheses, everything is offered. Yat, which, ya, who, yatha, as, kurute, executes, karyate, is performed, cha, also, para avaresham, of both in the material and spiritual existence. Paramam, the supreme, prak, the origin, prasidham, well known to everyone, tat, that, Brahma, the supreme Brahman, tat, hetu, the cause of all causes, and ananyat, having no other cause, ekam, one without a second. Okay, translation. Supreme Brahman, Krishna, is the ultimate resting place and source of everything. Everything is done by him, everything belongs to him, and everything is offered to him. He is the ultimate objective, and whether acting or causing others to act, he is the ultimate doer. There are many causes, high and low, but since he is the cause of all causes, he is well known as the Supreme Brahman who existed before all activities. He is one without a second and has no other cause. I therefore offer my respects unto him. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the original cause as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Even this material world, which is conducted under the modes of material nature, is caused by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who therefore has an intimate relationship with the material world. If the material world were not part of his body, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Cause, would be incomplete. Therefore, we hear Vasudeva Sarvam Iti Samahatma Sudurlabha. If one knows that Vasudeva is the original cause of all causes, he becomes a perfect Mahatma. The Brahma Samhita 5.1 declares, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sakchit Ananda Vigraha Anadi Adi Govindak Sarva Karana Karanam. Quote, Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme controller. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, for he is the prime cause of all causes, end quote. The Supreme Brahman, Tad Brahma, is the cause of all causes, but he has no cause. Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. Govinda, Krishna, is the original cause of all causes, but he has no cause for his appearance as Govinda. Govinda expands in multifarious forms, but nonetheless they are one. As confirmed by Madhvacharya, Ananya Sadrish Bhavad Eko Rupad Yabedata. Krishna has no cause nor any equal, and he is one because his various forms, as Svamsa and Vivinamsa, are non-different from him. Shri Ki Jai. Momagyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shita Parakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrachatam Sagana Raghunatam Vidam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakambitam Sa Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay. All right, so this is a wonderful verse showing the potency of the Lord as pretty much, being everywhere, being the cause of everything, just being being the best in every way, being the ultimate objective, like that. So, yes, as we hear in the Bhagavad Gita, also similar verses about how Krishna is the butter, the fire, the sacrifice, the offering, the act of offering. He ultimately is all that. So ultimately, Krishna is all pervading. Like I saw this thing that there's only Krishna and Krishna's energy, nothing else. Any other conception besides that is simply Maya. So, to separate Krishna from our existence is just like completely crazy. It's because as we're, anyways, Krishna is everything. Krishna is everywhere. Krishna is the cause of all causes, the ultimate goal, all that. And yet still we get sidetracked, still we lose our focus and somehow forget Krishna. So, but even this forgetfulness is part of is Krishna, as Krishna says, from him comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. So we also, even to forget Krishna, we need his mercy to forget him. So it's quite astounding then that in this material world, we can actually forget Krishna even for a moment. As we know, Krishna has two deluding potencies, Avarnatmika and the other one, I think it starts with no, I can't. Anyways, there's two, the throwing potency. There's the throwing potency and the deluding potency. I believe those are the two distinctions. So these are the two. So throwing potency and covering potency. So these are the two ways that one mystically is able to forget Krishna. So in a conversation with Srila Prabhupada, Morning Walk, Bombay, 1975, one devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, what is an example of the throwing potency of Maya? Prabhupada, throwing potency means somebody comes to take Krishna consciousness and Maya will dictate, why have you come here? Go and enjoy life outside, end quote. And he goes away. That is throwing. Throwing, that gets him out. This is throwing. So I've also heard the example that it's like, you're walking down some not such a good street, dangerous street, and then you just get jumped all of a sudden. Kind of like out of the blue. So in this way, this is one way that one becomes bewildered by Maya. And I heard, where did I hear this? They have in the court of law, I believe it's worse if one is okay, never mind. I didn't just say that, but I heard that it's actually more. it's worse if one like contemplates how one is going to engage in sense gratification and then does it. Whereas if one is kind of just jumped by Maya, then it's less kind of like Krishna's less, upset with you. But that making those deliberate plans, I forget what it's called in law, like conspiracy. I don't know. Anyways, but so Krishna's potency can jump us like that. And then the other one is another quote by Prabhupada in. Okay, interesting. The reference is Crucero Edmund. I don't know if that's a place, person, but anyways, this is what Prabhupada said about these deluding potencies of Maya. Prabhupada, Maya has got two whole potencies. One is covering potency and another is throwing potency. Just like one is taken to Krishna consciousness. Maya is trying to drag him. Why are you Krishna conscious? You enjoy this life. Come here. So sometimes he falls down. Two ways Maya is working. One way is covering potency, means he is actually suffering. And just like these two people, these karmis, they are working day and night hard and getting some money, and he thinks, I'm enjoying. What is that money? Some papers stamped $100, $5, and he works hard day and night and gets some paper. At night he thinks, I am so happy. Is it not? He's getting nothing, only a bunch of papers. So people can also be in this Maya. Everyone is ultimately, this second form of Maya is actually affecting everyone. Devotees, non-devotees. Because it's ultimately what is, making the world, making the world go round in a non-Krishna conscious way. It's like when Prabhupada was walking in New York City, and he said, he actually turned to one of his sannyasi disciples and he said, do you know why these buildings are so big? And they were like, I don't know. And then Prabhupada said, oh no. Prabhupada said, there's beautiful, it was because Prabhupada was making the point, because they're beautiful women, then that's why these buildings were so big. Because New York has beautiful women. Prabhupada was mentioning, yeah. So this is the, so because of being covered over, then the whole world is going on in a non-Krishna conscious, deluded way. So this is a way that, even though, as we're hearing in today's verse, Krishna is everything, Krishna is the source of everything is done by him, somehow we are becoming like covered over into not thinking this. So it's actually quite a position of madness. So today, in today's day and age, wow, things are getting very wild and very tense, and lots of war. There's like some serious wars going on. And I heard one one devotee saying, you know, that this is the kind of the fault of the preachers of transcendental knowledge, in a sense, because, you know, it shows we haven't adequately disseminated this knowledge, that people are still acting in these bodily concepts of life. So we know, yeah, so, you know, one may be thinking like, okay, well, how's this Krishna conscious knowledge going to help anyone? You know, here we are sitting in a temple, like, you know, like like maybe we should be doing something else. Like I remember one devotee, he joined the temple and he wanted to, you know, and he wanted to spend half his day providing water cups for the marathon runners. You know, like sometimes on a marathon, like people, they set up water cups so that when you're running, you can quench your thirst like that. So he was thinking, oh yes, I want to do this great noble deed. And then, but the temple authorities were like, no, you know, I think that's not the best use of your energy. So one may criticize, like, why is that? Why are the devotees so kind of like callous to the sufferings of the world? But actually, no, actually, this knowledge is the ultimate way to prevent all these problems in the world. Like I remember having that realization at a music festival that, you know, there's so many problems in the world. People are, yeah, obviously something is going wrong in the world. And what is the solution? You know, I was always trying to think, what is the solution to this very crazy, hostile world that we're in? And then, yeah, I could realize it has to be on a deeper spiritual level. Because you can, you know, you can put these people in charge, those people in charge. You can put different people in charge, but ultimately, if those people, if their heart isn't cleansed, and if they're not, ultimately trying to serve God, which is, you know, the best solution for everyone, then it's just going to be the same problems. So yeah, and I was thinking, wow, you know, I have to start this like spiritual revolution. How am I going to do this? I like can't even, you know, get to my college classes on time. But yeah, so then how glorious it was that I found, oh wow, this person, Srila Prabhupada, actually started this movement, ISKCON, as like a systematic way to, to start a spiritual revolution. So yeah, it's very, it's very important. It's the most important work. And like I remember one book distributor, he used to go out, and what he would do before distributing books, he would get a newspaper and then he would read about all the bad things going on. And then using all those, you know, all that, you know, bad news that everyone knew about and all these things that people were concerned about, he would use that in his book distribution as a way to like show how Krishna consciousness could solve all these problems. So yeah, we have the ultimate panacea for all this. Like, for example, a war happens because obviously some anger is involved there, right? Some got to be some anger to provoke someone to want to hurt others. And yeah, we know that this anger comes from unsatisfied lust. So therefore, instead of what's propagated nowadays, like become more lusty, like we want to elect government officials that are actually going to give us enable our sense gratification to be more. So yeah, you can increase my sense gratification and you're going to get my check on the ballot. But no, actually, this like a real ruler, a real leader is actually helping everyone to control their senses because they know that that's actually the best thing. Yeah, so this is ultimately, the glories of ISKCON, the glories of Srila Prabhupada, and a big role to play in getting out this knowledge. And of course, that knowledge, this practice, starts at home. Like there's a saying, the greatest welfare you can do is to save someone else. But even a greater welfare you can do is to save yourself. So we have to be very, very conscious that, this life is very short. And ultimately, like, especially now, we're seeing anything can happen. I know this Hurricane Helena caused so much catastrophe. So hearing one devotee saying how his son lives in Florida and has a little house behind someone else's house, and that person, they invited him, why don't you come in our house? It's more stable, it's more like secure, come stay with us for the night. And then that night, a tree fell on his house, little house, and completely crushed it. And then what to speak of, like a nuclear blast, just boom, take out everything. So we don't know what's going to happen in this world. Yeah, it's danger at every step. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. We could die at any moment, and we have to be. Yeah, and that's this teaching is presented so many times that Prabhupada, for example, saying, King Parikshit, he was fortunate. He knew he had 7 days, but we don't even know if we have 7 minutes. And we don't know if we have 7 breaths. So we have to ultimately become Krishna conscious, stay Krishna conscious, not get deviated from this ultimate goal of life. So we want to, like I was saying, there's these diluting potencies of the Lord, this Maya energies. So we want to be able to overcome that energy. And it's very interesting, I was talking about this recently, that, the only way we can actually overcome it is by the mercy of Krishna. So it's only, like we were talking about Prabhupada's prayers in the Jaladuta, Prabhupada saying that, Krishna, by your potency, they've all gone into Maya, and it is by your mercy, by your potency, that they can get out of Maya. So the only way we can get out is by the mercy of, ultimately by the mercy of another person. Just like if one is, if one is like handcuffed, one can only be saved by one who is not handcuffed. What is that example? If one is stuck in a well, you can only save yourself before you can save. Wait, you can only what? You have to save others before you have to save yourself before you can save others. Sorry, it's early. Yeah, you have to. Yeah. So also you can only be, in that way you can only be saved by one who is saved, or you can be saved by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. So it's amazing that, like they say, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So in Bhakti, it's also very much like that. It's not, you can do all these austerities, you can do all these, know all this Shastra, you can, all these things you can do. But ultimately, if it's not pleasing to the Lord, then it's all, useless. If it's not provoking one's love of God and ultimately pleasing the Lord. So it's amazing that, yeah, we are actually, our whole thing is to kind of like please a person. And I guess it's not so far-fetched in the material world. Also, it's like that, right? You want to get this job, you got to please someone. If you want to stay in your relationship, you have to please that person. Everything depends on pleasing person. So ultimately, if we want to get out of this deluding potency of Maya, we also have to please. As Krishna says, only by service can one know me. So how does one, let's see, what do I have here? Okay. So in Bhagavad Gita chapter 13, so how do we please Krishna? Well, ultimately, yeah, that's why we have to read these books so we can know what is pleasing to Krishna. And in the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, so as we know, there's this verse in that 13th chapter where Krishna is giving what is knowledge, humility, pridelessness, simplicity, that tolerance. So Krishna is giving all these things that are knowledge. And then he says, whatever is not this, it's not knowledge. So in the purport, Prabhupada says something cool. It says, the embodied soul is entrapped by the body, which is a casing made of the 24 elements. And the process of knowledge, as described here, is the means to get out of it. So Krishna is kindly giving us the means to get out of it. I used to tell people on Sankirtan, I don't know if it actually worked very well, but it's like, this is the owner's manual for the material world. Okay, the Prabhupada saying, of all the descriptions of the processes of knowledge, the most important point is described in the first line of the 11th verse. Mayi Chananya Yogina Bhakti Avyavicharini. The process of knowledge terminates in unalloyed devotional service to the Lord. So if one does not approach or is not able to approach the transcendental service of the Lord, then the other 19 items are of no particular value. So, you can have all the humility, all the tolerance, all the knowledge, but ultimately, if one doesn't approach the transcendental service of the Lord, then all these items are of no particular value. But if one takes to devotional service in full Krishna consciousness, the other 19 items automatically develop within him. So yes, service. So it's actually quite simple in a sense that Krishna wants us to serve him. And that's how we endear ourselves to him. So we have a very nice couple. They're visiting now, and this devotee, he's just so like, yeah, he's just like, I want to serve. I want to serve. How can I serve? Like he really, it's so heart melting to see like how much he wants to serve. They came here on a little vacation, paid their money, to stay here, but he's like, I just want to serve. Both of them, both this couple, Connor and Amanda, and so he's just like, yes, how, it's just amazing. It's just service attitude. So we were doing service yesterday in the garden, like putting compost on the fields and hay and all that. And the whole time it was like he was just, you could tell his mentality was just serving. It wasn't like there was no ego, like, oh, I know how to do this. I have my own garden. What are you talking? You don't know what you're talking about. It wouldn't be the first time someone said that to me. But no, he was like, just whatever we told him, he would just do it. Just like, okay. It wasn't like he was just some dullard who didn't know any better. But no, he was just wanted to serve. And even we were presenting like terrible ideas, and he just full on go for it. Like, all right, terrible idea, whatever. It was amazing to see. There was like literally the whole time I've been with him, I could sense like no like envy, no envy at all. And this is, it's just, yeah, it's very endearing to everyone. And ultimately that's what's going to endear us to Krishna. So like in a few verses back, we heard that it's all about the service attitude. Everything depends on one's service attitude. So wrapping it up, yeah, Krishna, as we're hearing in the verses today, Krishna is ultimately is everything, is everywhere. I like this part in the Gita, the Bhagavatam, where it's like, this technical explanation of how even our organs are only moving by the mercy of Krishna. So whatever we're doing, eating, whatever we can think, wow, it's actually only Krishna that's doing this. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhuva. Krishna's saying, I'm the fire and digestion. And I'm the one that's ultimately able to digest the food like that. Like Ayurveda also, when you take some medicine, you're supposed to like say some Narayan mantra, because the idea is you can take these herbs, but they'll only be effective if you remember Narayan, invoke the blessings of Narayan. So what was I trying to say? Yeah, so Krishna is ultimately everywhere and everything. And we have to remember that, not become deluded, deviated. We have to pray, like Prabhupada was saying, what's the difference between me and my disciples is that I'm always praying to Krishna not to fall down. And even, Prabhupada heard when he went into a nice house, he said, yes, if I go into these nice big houses, all these donors, and they have such nice house, such a nice family, I'm just praying to not become bewildered by these things. So, and this is probably, it's like 70 and so realized, and you're still praying like that. So we have to pray, we have to serve, try to endear ourselves to Krishna, and to not be, to ultimately not become, like, not fall into Maya. Because, okay, the throne, as we know, the throne potency is there, trying to bring us down. And then once we're brought down, then it's like, we can very easily get covered over and then just forget, like, oh, just somehow we can get covered over and just forget about what I don't know, all these Krishna conscious experiences we've had. Of course, I don't think we ever really forget them, but yeah, anyways, that potency, that covering potency of Krishna is there to keep us in Maya. So I'll stop there if any questions or comments. A summary of the... No, I just did. Wasn't much to summarize. Summary of the class, yeah. Any questions or comments? All right, there's nothing from our in-person audience. There's anything online. These Bhagavatam classes.
Haribo, Prabhu.
Haribo, Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, thank you for the class. So, in various prayers that the devotees in the Bhagavatam offer to the Lord, they always have to mention how Krishna is the cause of all causes. So, from your study and realization, why is this like so important to always highlight that Krishna is the cause of all causes when praying to him specifically?
Why is this common? Why is this common in prayers that to highlight that Krishna is the cause of all causes?
Yeah.
My first thought is I don't know, but my second thought is that we just heard this Ajamil Leela, and the Yama Dudas were bewildered, like, we thought Yamaraj was the best, and we were taking full shelter of him in that way, and now we're hearing that no, yeah, and I believe even Yamaraj himself described that there's actually is someone more. So yeah, if we're gonna take shelter of someone, if we're gonna depend on someone in that way, it's best if it seems best if that person is the cause of all causes and the ultimate, supreme Ishvara. Then it's like, okay, like even Lord Brahma was saying, sorry, Hiranyakashipu. By the way, we were moving hay yesterday, or hay, rotten hay, and apparently the ants, like the sweetness in the hay or something. So we just like got covered in ants because we were just, just like stuck my hand into like this hay bale. My hand was like not even covered, but like there was little ants. It was very annoying, very annoying. And I think, yeah, even got a few bites. So I can just imagine Hiranyakashipu covered by ants. Wow, what a terrible, terrible experience. But anyways, but yeah, even Lord Brahma was telling Hiranyakashipu, like, I can't give you uh, immortality because I'm not even immortal. But Krishna, being the cause of all causes, yeah, he can give anything. He can do anything. He's not limited by anyone or anything. So I think acknowledging that supremacy of Krishna is valuable.
So, excuse me. So basically, prayer or vandanam, and one of the 10 subject matters of the Bhagavatam being to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. When you are offering prayers, you are basically interacting with the Lord always as the ultimate shelter. Is that why it's like a theme? So it's not just like, so from a rasa point of view, it's not just that you are interacting with the Lord as a provider, um, just like is the case in other forms of religion. But really, when you are praying to the Lord, the the basic rasa is that you're the servant and he's the Lord, and you're really just trying to take shelter of him. Is that why, just to summarize what you were saying, um, is that what you've realized? Why it's such a common thing to always say Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think so. I think you said it right. Yeah, the Lord is. We are. Our constitutional position is as uh, servants, servants of the Lord. The Lord's the master, we're the servants. I think it's even saying, yeah, he's the cause of all causes. He's the ultimate. He is the ultimate doer, whether acting or causing others to act. So the fact that he's the cause of all causes, that's not only okay, he created everything, but like, no, he is the cause of me moving my finger right now. And yeah, whether he's the ultimate objective, and whether acting or causing others to act, he is the ultimate doer. So amazing, he's actually, yeah, causing us to act also. So it's a nice meditation because you can see that, yeah, the cause of all causes, like every cause, not just the creation cause, like every little minute cause, that's coming from Krishna. Therefore, why would anyone take shelter of such a person? Thank you for bringing that up. Stir the pot a little bit. All right, so if no one has anything else.
Oh, Tarka Prabhu wants to answer the question.
Okay. Yes, Target.
I do want to answer the question. Yeah, Krishna is described as the cause of all causes in so many places. There's Rama Samhita, of course, and Krishna himself says in the 10th canto, excuse me, 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. It is because it is a very, very specific designation. There are many controllers, there are many providers. Krishna could be described in many ways, but the cause of all causes is as specific as you can get. There is no one else that could be confused with the cause of all causes. There can only be one cause of all causes, and that's Krishna. So it's a very, very specific designation. There can be no confusion or what's the word I'm looking for? It's just very specific. You can't get more specific than that. There's only one. There's only one cause of all causes. I hope that helps. Hare Krishna.
That is very specific. That's the most specific answer you can give on this question. So thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Target Prabhu. It's good to have you here to catch any clean it all up. Okay, thank you everyone for attending. Nice to see everyone. Tarek Prabhu, Drew, James. Hope you're doing well, James, wherever you are. Atlanta. Yeah. Come back soon, Madhupam Leela saying. I took your land. Hope you don't mind. I'll return soon. If I know you're coming. Kari Krishna Prabhu, Yasudev Prabhu, Shori. Okay, thank you all. Hope you have a good day. Please the Lord and not be deluded by my Hare Krishna.